Hey folks, welcome back to more Dark Side Changes, or whatever else you want to call this, for the Pandora Directive. Here we are at day 5, so let's see what changes if you're on the darker path. It will start with this first bit here with
I get away from the warehouse with a few bruises and singed hairs, but generally intact. On the way home, I stop at a convenience store and buy a couple of packs of cigarettes. Malloy had been gunned down and I barely escaped, but life goes on and I'm out of smokes. I'm not sure if Fitzpatrick's gonna pay me, even though technically I did find Malloy. What I really want from Fitzpatrick is information. I'm certain now that Regan wasn't exaggerating about the value of her father's work. I figure it'll be to my advantage to stay in touch and on good terms with Fitzpatrick. Second agent opened fired.
Okay. No. That part changes.
Killed him. I barely got
the rest of this conversation does not. But
so
Tex's
for the next few minutes, I relate
end
the events that led up to finding Malloy. But it's clear that his death is only part of the reason for Fitzpatrick's reaction. After Fitzpatrick leaves, I think about what to do next. I told the old man I was on his side, but that's not exactly the truth. I'm on my own side, no one else's. Before he died, Malloy was going to tell me what he discovered. I really want to know what it was, and how much it might be worth. If Fitzpatrick can help me along those lines, fine. If he can't, then I'll rely on Regan's help. Either way, I have a pretty good feeling this is all going to pay off big, and I want a hefty slice of that pie. Before I start counting my money, though, I have some work to do. And the first priority is to recover the box the NSA took from me.
You have a fax?
Yes. So that part changes just enough. Instead of being actually worried about completing the case and maybe saving lives, the payoff is still tops in his mind. The next part that will change is, I believe it's the phone call from Regan is the next part that actually changes. So I will be back. I will pause the video, go play. When I get to that part, start the video up, and you'll get to see the differences. So, switch over and be back in just 1 second. Yep, a couple of small changes here. As we have called Regan, and now we are about to travel to the Imperial Lounge.
Under normal circumstances, I'd be nervous to meet a beautiful woman like Regan Manson, but my new approach to life takes all the pressure off. I'm in it for myself, but maybe Regan and I can have some fun along the way. As I walk into the Imperial Lounge, I'm prepared for a three-pronged attack. Break the bad news, be as charming as humanly possible, and find out everything Regan knows. Thanks for the bourbon.
And this part doesn't change at all, believe it or not. You'd think they might have recorded something different here, but no, they didn't.
Tell me about your
This whole conversation goes exactly as you remember it. So once again, I will be back when we find a new change. Okay, here comes our second bit with Regan. Come on.
Well, now that I got Purnell's key, at least getting into the locker at the NSA should be easy.
Remember, this was just like right afterward.
Hello there. I'm glad I caught you at home.
So let's be kind of more like we're trying to be on, trying to impress her a little.
Yeah, me too. What's up?
I found some things in my father's notebook that may interest you. How much is it worth to you?
You take checks?
Sorry, I require full payment up front.
Well, if we work things out, I'll completely satisfy the debt with interest. What'd you find out?
Well, not much. About the only thing I could figure out was toward the end of the notebook. There were quite a few references to OE, EW, and AE. I'm not sure what they stand for.
Well, the E and the W could be directions or compass points. And the OE stands for Old English, but that doesn't seem very relevant. Whatever they mean, I get the feeling they're leading to something really big. Everyone and their dogs want to get their hands on your father's work.
As soon as we find out what these initials stand for, we'll be halfway to a fortune.
I don't think that's going to be as easy as it sounds.
Well, we've already got 2 boxes, right? Maybe those initials I found on the notebook refer to other people who got boxes for my father.
Well, you're probably right, but I have a feeling they're not just going to hand over the boxes to us.
I don't want to cut anyone else in on this.
Neither do I, but we may have to pay off Fitzpatrick. Doesn't matter how big a score this turns out to be, I want to keep as much as possible.
I've got an idea. Why don't we just stay together? That way we won't have to split anything. We can just go off to the Caribbean and spend the next 50 years doing nothing.
You don't know how good that sounds to me. I need a change, and that seems like a pretty damn good one.
So, what do we do now?
For now, I think you should just sit tight. I have a feeling that things are going to get a little sticky from here on out. I'll be in touch soon.
I hope I can take that literally. Please be careful.
Yep. So you see, that entire conversation has changed pretty drastically. Definitely Tex in it for the big score, as trying to play both sides against the middle. This could get interesting for Tex in many, many ways. But anyway, I'll be back in a minute. We have a couple more conversations that will change throughout the day. I will see you guys in a second. Okay, folks, here we are at the very end of the day. We've gone through everything. We've done just about everything we need to. But you're going to notice, instead of heading straight out to Roswell...
Despite the warnings from Ellis and Fitzpatrick, I'm bound for Roswell. Hopefully the alien power cell is somewhere in the Roswell military complex. I know that without it, I'll never find out Malloy's secret or cash in. There is one more stop I need to make before I leave.
Look, I hate to ruin the mood, but right after this I'm gonna hit the road. I'm gonna be gone for a couple days, maybe more.
You leaving town?
I'm going to Roswell, New Mexico after I finish this drink and a couple more out of that bottle.
Roswell? What for?
There's an object down at a military base where your father used to work. I need to get that thing so we can cash out.
I'm coming with you.
No way. I don't even know what I'm getting myself into.
Well, don't be gone too long.
I'll be gone long enough.
You know, I think you know a lot more about me than I know about you, and that's not fair.
Well, I was married once. How's that?
Wow, so was everybody. Tell me about her. What was she like?
Well, she was beautiful, sexy, intelligent, and rotten to the core.
Oh, yeah, one of those. So I guess you hate all women, huh?
I look at him the way I look at tequila. It's great until you overdo it. And you can't even look at it without getting sick to your stomach. Eventually, you get to the point where you can drink it again, but you never, ever forget that first miserable night.
Nice metaphor.
Yeah, well, what's your metaphor of love?
My metaphor, let's see. I dance with love until it starts to lead, and I love to dance.
Well, it's quite a coincidence.
Hmm?
Because I'm a dance instructor.
Dance instructor, really? So I guess that would mean you're very familiar with the forbidden dance of love, huh?
Oh, yeah. I know that dance very well. But I don't do it anymore because I threw my back out.
Oh, yeah.
So where'd Madsen come from?
Oh, I was married once.
And what was he like?
Oh, he was sexy, handsome, intelligent, and
Rotten to the core.
Yeah. Yeah, he was my tequila. And now I drink nothing but bourbon, straight up. Won't make that mistake again.
What do you mean?
I mean, I let myself be controlled by somebody and I didn't like it. Now I'm in it for myself.
Well, here's to looking out for number one and sticking our necks out for nobody.
To us.
And thus ends the differences for Day 5. Day 6 will begin roughly the same, but there will be a few changes once again, and once I finish Day 6 in the normal playthrough, I will be back. So until then, take care folks. See everybody next time.